and he has a story for us on this top hat drum. How's it going, Chuck?
Going great. We're having a great show.
Awesome. Yeah, it's Sunday.
Sunday, but yeah, we're doing well. So
Awesome.
we're
Awesome.
looking forward to it.
And you've got this drum here you want to tell us about.
Yeah, every drum has a story. I've been collecting for about 30 years. I earned a living as a consulting engineer, so I was all around the state of Wisconsin and neighboring states, which is how I got access to all these vintage drums back in 30 years ago.
Oh, wow.
This drum came to me in a very strange way. I was up in central Wisconsin. I found an ad for a Ludwig set in Champagne Sparkle, and it was a guy out on a farm in central Wisconsin. So I go to his farm, and he's got this beautiful 4-piece Ludwig set. I buy it, put it in the car, and he said, oh, there are cases with it. They're out in the barn. So we go out in the barn, and next to the cases, sitting on the ground, is this little gem, this little 11-inch top hat tom. And so now I've got to put on my best poker face because I know this is part of a really special set. And I said, gee, that's a cute little toy drum. Have you got any more like it? And he says, well, the kids took them out and played with them, and I don't know where they are now. They're gone. So I bought this from him for like $20. Take it along. Gave him my business card, and I said, if you ever find the other drums, call me. And of course, I never got a call, so this was a one-off.
Can you hold that out a little bit for him?
Sure, yeah.
Because, I mean, do you mind explaining the top hat and cane a little bit? Because it's such an interesting story.
It's technically called the top hat finish. It's white marine pearl. And the interesting thing is this is, to my knowledge, the first example of screen printing of plastic, and it's under the clear surface. So it's screen printing on the white marine pearl, and you have a top hat, a cane, and a pair of gloves. So most people call it top hat and cane, but technically it's top hat.
So
it was a 5-piece set.
Yeah.
And this is stamped on the inside. We won't even try to see it, but it's here we go here. I know it's in here.
Right there.
There it is. 5-41, which would be, it was made May 1941.
Yeah.
And then we all know what happened in December of 41, Pearl Harbor, and then the Ludwig had to shut down the factory. So when this run of 1941 top hat drums was done in December, that was it. So very limited quantities.
Because that was when they started. There's a lot of like restrictions on metal and manufacturers.
Oh yeah,
everything changed in America with that era.
Yeah, so, a lot of the hardware was brass, and so all the brass went for munitions production.
Yeah.
So then we had wood lugs, and they just kind of shut down the drum factories.
It's such an interesting thing with history, and that is so intertwined with like some of the drum industry. I always love like the rolling bomber kits, and even though they not survive because of the quality and things, it's really interesting. Or the Zephyr lugs, those are just so cool things. How it's intertwined together,
yeah, a lot of history that gets intertwined. Exactly.
Yeah. And you have this other kit you want
so
to
we
show
got
us.
this is kind of a little bit of a goofy story. Our attempt at humor to lighten things up at the show.
Okay.
This is a beautiful example of a black oyster, Ludwig black oyster, mid-60s. That's Ringel's color. It's in absolutely mint condition. It still has all the original factory logo drum heads on it. The front head has a little story as well. Jack Lawton, who's
I know Jack. He
big time
my drum kits for me. Wonderful.
Out in Pennsylvania, came into a situation where somebody at an auction, bought the original head off the front of Ringo's drum from the Ed Sullivan Show, and allowed Jack to make a template.
Oh wow!
Of the Beatles logo. Took the template and I think Jack got 100 or so heads, and then had an artist hand paint all the Beatles logo on the head.
Wow!
So it's not a machine done. It's accurate from the original head.
Oh wow!
So I put that head on the drum, replaced the one that came with it, because it's now kind of a replica.
Yeah.
Well, the set is priced, I think, very reasonably, and we're all shocked that it's sitting here. Why hasn't somebody bought this? And somebody suggested that, well, maybe people walk by and they don't know what Beatles means. So we thought, let's help them out. So I happened to bring this poster from home, and so
nice.
now our marketing plan is that in case somebody didn't know what Beatles means, now they can put a face to the name. So this is modern marketing here in 2023.
If that doesn't work, we're going to go drag the peace sign hand thing in here and put it next. We're just going to get all the stuff in one place.
Yeah.
That's a good-looking kid. I mean, I saw that and immediately thought of a replica kid. You did a great job with it. And yeah, that is really, I don't know if it's easy to see in the camera, but that is really quality looking.
Yeah, and you can actually, if you get close, you can see the brush strokes. I mean, it's hand painted. It's very cool.
Awesome. Well, hey, I appreciate it, Chuck. Thanks
all right,
for taking